All right, everyone. Now we have to talk about RFK Jr. He appears to become the ultimate target of the legacy media. If anything, they hate him almost more than they hate Donald Trump at this point, which is absolutely hysterical. Link in the description, archived, of course. I'm going to read a little bit of this verbatim because then we'll give the counterpoint to it, actually. So let's get started. Striking a blow for deadly disease and against public health. For deadly disease. Yes, clearly RFK Jr. wants you to get diseased. He wants you to be unhealthy. Our dangerous Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., flanked by doctors including National Institutes of Health Director J. I'm going to mispronounce this name, I'm sure, Pachiara, handpicked for his vaccine skeptic approach, decreed that the COVID vaccine would no longer be recommended for children and pregnant women. Who will be next? Ooh, spooky. This was not a position following the science, but one more expression of the RFK's nutty and long-standing anti-vaccine activism. Congress has to stop RFK before he puts more American lives at risk. If President Donald Trump doesn't have the guts to, or is so enamored of his culture wars, he doesn't care. Let me talk about this at length. I am pro-vaccine. I know that this rankles some people. I am in favor of vaccination in general because in general it is safe and it works. That being said, I do not believe in bothering to get the vaccine for topical diseases that are not going to cause scarring. They're not particularly deadly or anything like that. For anyone that is not either old, immunocompromised, that would be a thing, or very, very young, for example. And in the latter case, in only some cases. If somebody has problems health-wise, then it probably behooves them to get vaccinated for certain conditions. But if a person is young and healthy, if a person is of average immuno capabilities and so forth, and if they're jacked up on mushroom pills like I am every single day, it's not really necessary, for example, for them to get the flu vaccine. Influenza can kill a person who's older. It can give them pneumonia. They can die. It probably is not going to kill somebody who's 30 years old, just for example. This is just one of many examples. Things like measles, mumps, and rubella. The reason why immunize for those is to prevent sporadic outbreaks and to prevent scarring in some cases. You get the measles, and then you have pock marks and shit like that. It's not probably not going to kill you. It's just that it's unpleasant. It's unaesthetic. That's the reason that it's immunized for. Um, with regards to RFK Jr., though, he's trying to encourage a clean living program. So the reduction of the use of pesticides, the reduction of the eating of processed foods, the reduction in all of these things, the use of seed oils, and I would say that's an environmental issue too. This is something that I neglected to mention actually the other day. When we're talking about RFK's agenda, it's almost more of an environmentalist agenda than it is a health agenda at times. Seed oils contribute to deforestation, for example. Pesticide and herbicide usage contribute to contamination of the land. Processed foods are less efficient than unprocessed foods, generally speaking. They can be cheaper, but that doesn't mean that they're more efficient. And so, with all of these things, we do have actually an environmentalist aspect to this. But then we get articles like this, in which the liberal legacy media is castigating this man for promoting healthy living. Oh, no, I guess the modern liberal wants to spray pesticide all over their lawn and then go and eat a hamburger. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. None at all. I never thought that I would live to see the day that this would be the position of people that are supposedly on the left. Makes no sense. RFK Jr. had been a longtime Democrat. He's a goddamn Kennedy. But now he's being, again, castigated as a conspiracy theorist for saying something that was being said in mainstream publication by the liberal media for more than 20 years. Hey, you should eat less processed food. Hey, you should use less pesticide. Hey, this herbicide is linked to fucking cancer and stuff like that. This has been a thing for a long time with the liberals until very, very recently. It's very, very interesting that this has happened. RFK Jr., I believe, has, like Tulsi Gabbard, genuinely flipped. I think that he took a look at the Democratic Party and the movement of the left and he said, "You've completely sold out. I'm not doing this anymore." And then he decided to switch teams, so to speak. Tulsi Gabbard, I believe, is in the same camp, and I respect her as well. Looking at the liberals, looking at the Democratic Party as a political edifice, I think she said, "Look, they've basically abandoned me. They're castigating me. They're calling me crazy. And these other people over here, they're not doing the same thing. Hmm, who should I side with? Let me say, for example, let's say that you are in a tribe or a culture of some sort, and you are constantly being criticized, you are constantly being run down. But then the one that it's going to war with is welcoming towards you and says, "Yeah, your ideals are pretty good. Yeah, you're fine." And what are you going to do? Are you going to stick with the people that are constantly trying to harass you, criticize you, possibly even kill you? Or are you going to go to the other side and say, "Well, you actually, originally I thought that you were evil, but now I realize that you're actually pretty good." I think you would probably do the latter. This, I believe, is the case with both RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. This is why I've told people, and some people don't agree with me, and that's fine. Have whatever beliefs you want. I believe that their transition is genuine. I believe that it's due to the Democratic Party's malfeasance, its incapability of leadership, its constant criticism of members of the party. And I think that they said, screw it, basically. They threw up their hands. They were trying to be good Democrats. But the Democratic Party's not good. That's the whole problem. This happens all the time within politics, by the way. RFK Jr. is now being targeted by the legacy media consistently, despite the fact that the things that he's saying are consistent with the messaging that came from the Democratic Party and the liberal movement in general for decades. They've simply, it wasn't him who changed. It wasn't Tulsi Gabbard that changed. It was the Democratic Party that changed, in other words. That's very inexplicable. That's about all. Peace out.